Last week, I was driving home from the dentist. Nothing painful, mind you. In fact, I've never felt pain in the dentist chair. Novocaine works for me. But there was not even Novocaine this visit, just to check out. And as I was driving away from the office, I saw a billboard. By the way, I foresee the day in the not too distant future when we will have a billboard. You see, this was a church billboard that I was looking at. And the billboard said, when you die, you will meet God. Now that may be true. But the question that arose in me was this: are we willing to live and meet God now? Why wait? See, you and I have met God in so many different forms. We do every day. You see, the world is waking up. God is becoming clearer and clearer and more palpably present with each new day. How? Through you. Through you. And you. And you. You see, you are waking up more and more each day. Affirm that for yourself silently now. Last Sunday, we held our first Let's Talk question and answer session with the minister. When one of my colleagues does it, he calls it rapping with the Rev. I kind of like that. I may steal it the next time that we do that kind of session. And from the comments I got afterwards, so many people present really enjoyed the process, as did I. And there were many good questions that were asked. We didn't get through, we got through maybe 20% of them in the time that we had to devote to the process. Many good questions. And one of those very good questions came from one of our children, because we invited our children to be present for this experience. And the question came from Autumn, a very old soul masquerading as age 6. She's much older. She's older than I am, I think. Spiritually. And this is the question that she asked. She even asked it like a minister. She had a preface. Her question was, we sing the peace song at the end of service. How do people make peace on earth? Now, it's said that to answer a question with a question is not at all fair, but that's exactly what I did. I walked up to her, I looked at her, and I asked, how do you make peace in your life? And with the clearest, brightest, liveliest eyes, she looked right at and into me and said, I get quiet. And the room got very, very quiet. Because it was a statement of pure, essential truth. Now today's message is a story about getting quiet. And to tell this story, I want to transform each one of you into a doctor. Even those of you who are doctors. Are you willing to be so transformed? Yes?
Yes.
Very good. Hello, doctor.
Hello.
Hello, doctor. Good morning, doctor. Doctor, I keep having this recurring nightmare that I'm being compelled to speak in public. Okay, so we're all doctors. But you're not just any doctor. No. No, we have transformed you into a doctor who is 50-something, a male, a neurosurgeon, and formerly on staff at the Harvard Medical School. All right? And you're in bed. It's 4:30 a.m. in the morning. You're lying there, and your head is aching badly. See, it appears that the flu symptoms that you, your wife, and your youngest son had been experiencing this past week, those symptoms seem to have intensified. But it'll pass. And so you stand up. And as you do, a pain shoots deep, throbbingly, piercingly into your spine, going right down to the very base. This doesn't feel like the flu. And like most doctors, you really don't like being sick. And you really don't like being treated by other doctors. And you know what's even worse? What's worse is the thought of a bunch of paramedics crawling all over your house. And so you know that this will pass in short order. Well, now it's 6:30, and you are convulsing violently, and you are paralyzed by pain. So off to the ER you go by ambulance. How you doing? You got the picture? Okay. Within the day, your doctors diagnose that your brain is being severely attacked by E. coli meningitis. Now, this is very rare. How rare? Fewer than 1 in 10 million people get this condition. But wait, there's more. Virtually all of those people had either head trauma or neurosurgery, and you've had neither. And there's even more. You see, you are both convulsing and have severe mental disorientation. And with the combination of those two things, you have a 90% chance of survival. I mean 10%. It's 90% mortality rate. It is an extremely rare circumstance. And no one can figure out how you even got it. A little family background about who you are. Your name is Dr. Eben Alexander. Yes, that's your real name. And you were adopted as a baby. Many years later, You found your birth parents. And reunited with them, you discovered that you have two biological sisters, Kathy and Betsy. But Betsy had passed away 10 years earlier, so you had no way to meet her. You're happily married. You have two children, a 10-year-old and a 20-year-old who himself is pursuing a medical degree. You are a man of science. A man of science. You pay attention to all of the facts before you. You're not one who is prone to flights of fancy. Because your job, a neurosurgeon, is too demanding for anything less than what is absolutely real. That's who you are. Time passes. You've now been in deep coma for 6 days. Medical science says you now have a 97% chance of mortality. So what has this experience been like? Are you ready for things to get a little better? Because I know that you're all there. We're all there together. What's this experience like for you in this deep coma? The deepest coma really known in medical science. Well, to begin with, you are aware. You're aware. You're aware of being in a place of darkness, but visible darkness. You can see through it. It's kind of like being in a muddy womb. And around you, you see these root-like structures that are glowing a dirty red. And it feels claustrophobic, a little bit suffocating, but you're okay, but it's not comfortable. And the longer that you are there, and while you are there, you hear this loud, morbid sound, this clanging sound, like machine pounding upon machine. And the longer you're here, the more you know that you don't belong here. But where do you go? Where do you go? And as if by asking that question, a light appears in the darkness. A light that appears to tear apart and shatter the darkness as if itself were a physical thing. And this golden white light comes closer and closer to you. And as it draws closer, you begin to realize that you are not looking at it, but you are looking through it. And as you hold your gaze, looking through this opening, with a loud, quick whooshing sound, you find yourself being drawn up and through that opening, and you are now flying in another world. And as you look down, you see fields and streams and trees. And here and there are people, including children, and occasionally a dog running and jumping. Cat lovers here? Cats as well.